I think the most asked question to me is, do plumbers make money? And I get this question asked by learners who are in college, and they want to know, do you make money, innit? And the question is, what is money first to you? Because money is different to everybody else. You know, if somebody told you was going to get £40,000, they would say that's a lot of money. I could buy this, I could buy that, I could buy X, I could buy Z. If someone told you was going to get £60,000 or £70,000, that's a lot different to getting £40,000. What you settled with and what you thought was money is your answer, right? But I tell people, of course, plumbers definitely make a lot of money, but not all of them make a lot of money. Because even if we just looked at the average wage, which is 46k a year, that's the average wage. That is not a seriously high wage when it comes to earning potentials in the UK. No, it's not. So you need to be realistic with yourself, because there are a portion of people who earn in that 10% tax bracket, right? And it's not the people who are getting the 46k, right? Because when you break down that 46k, it's not 70 grand salary. Do you understand what I mean? So what does that tell you? That tells you that it's got high earning potential, but there's a cap, or there's a reason why there's only 10% of people which are in that top thing, which are actually plumbers making that type of money. And there are people who are not in that part. For some reasons, there are some people that prefer not to be in the higher tax bracket in the UK, because there's a threshold on how much you earn. And I'll try and put that figure up right now. So if you stay underneath this figure, you will pay 20% tax, yeah? And if you stay over this figure, you will be paying 40% tax, right? So it makes sense for you to be in a right ballpark figure. So if you are on the 40% tax, you get this and you take this home. That's good numbers to take home. Or if not, you're on the minimum part of the 40% tax, which is this number here, and you'll be taking this home. Make it make sense for yourself, innit? What I tell people is, the reality is that I don't meet that many people within plumbing who are plumbers that make mad money. They make good money, they make average, some of them make above average money, but it's like, what do you do with your money, innit? You get paid your money and then you spend it or you invest it in something, right? So a lot of the times there are different tools which come out. There are qualifications which come out, which some people need for their business. So you're reinvesting yourself all the time. I've known this about plumbing for years, which is that it's a high cash flow industry. You do jobs, and let's say I'm doing a job, the bill comes to £3,000. That's a lot of money to kind of like have out as one person. That person could pay you slow, and therefore that messes up your cash flow within your business. So you might wait 5 weeks for that £3,000, and it stops you from going to another job, or slows you down because you're consistently chasing people. And that's what you find within being a plumber, is you chase people. How do you get rid of all that chasing people? Is that you get a whole different team to deal with that, payments and paying people. Or you be so upfront with people and you tell them, payment upfront, we set up a payment plan, whether you pay in installments, every quarter you pay X, and we get to X, and we get to X, and we get to X to the final payments. We could set it over 4 payments, or we could set it over 2 payments. So you pay your 1,500 up front, and then you pay the other 1,500 when we finish the job on completion. That's something that you can be open and upfront with people. I've actually showed people with ChatGPT, I've made a document which you can use as a blank document, as a contract. So it stops that customer saying, we didn't speak about that. You didn't tell me that was going to be in the estimate. Well, you signed the estimate agreement, and if you read through it, the estimate agreement said any additional work, blah, 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 will be brought to your knowledge at this time or whatever. You know, when I say your agreement will be the understanding that this person is paying you. That's what the agreement is about. Because there are many times when I've seen people fall to the waste with talking to customers and not being able to get the amount of money out of them which they agreed on, because the customer feels like, oh, I thought you said you was going to do that for a bit cheaper, but I thought you said that was a favor and I didn't know that needed to be done. It might have not been discussed properly, which that becomes a problem with making your money as well, because people always like to say or bring up certain points and be like, oh, I didn't know that was happening, or you didn't tell me that. So being very clear is going to help you get to your money quicker. So learning those skills of customer service, talking to people, because communicating is the best way. Being upfront about any prices or any deductions, what might happen in their bill, and knowing how to invoice and send over your quotations for jobs, right? I feel that there are a lot of plumbers who waste time going out quoting jobs. I'm going to say it now. In 2025, it's a waste if you're not charging to quote. I do sometimes repeat business for certain customers when they want something. So I've recently got a customer who's an interior designer, great person to work with, lovely person. She's called me up and she said, oh, it's me. You've done some work for me before, blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, what's happening? What's going on? She goes, oh, I need this job done. I've had a few people come around before, but they've not been able to find a leak and I just need it done. My moment is there, because when I turn up to do a job, I might be one of the most expensive people, but I will get the job done. I'll get it done to the time frame what you've asked. I'll get it done with my standards on it. So therefore, I'm stamping my approval saying it's done. I've completed the job. I'm happy with it. I've tested it. I'm ready to sign it over to you now, and we're ready for payment, right? This person knows that I'm a person who will get the job done with standards. That's why they've called me. I'm not going to charge that person to come out and have a little look at what their problem is. Because if I can do it and I bring my tools, I've fixed it, right? But I want to have a look so I know what I'm going up against. That way it makes it easier for me as an individual. But I'm quite sure I'll be able to fix the problem, because I do think it's a leak, because they're telling me about a molding and stuff like that. But I will make sure that I apply myself just like I've applied myself at the previous jobs, what they've given me, and I've been able to make money, because I know that that person is a serious customer. That's how I've moved with business for me, and it's got me to certain points. But having that attitude towards every job is something you need to do if you want to make money in this plumbing. That's the truth. Like, apply yourself every single time so people understand your way of doing business, which is getting the job done, making sure it's efficient, doing it on time, and charging what you need to charge. There are a lot of people that undercharge themselves because they don't know that every single year the value of trades go up and down. Materials go up. Labor goes up. Cost of running jobs goes up. Your daily rate goes up. It's not a given. It's just something which is happening now within society because of everything, like the cost of living all over the world has just went up. So everyone's got to pay for that cost, and it's a service-based business. So you understand that you're providing a service for a short period of time. While you're providing that service, the business must keep generating money. There are many people that run their plumbing business like as if it was a one-man band where it's all right to charge, you know, £80, £90 to do that job, but you're not got a profit from the £80, £90 because you've got to pay for petrol, parking, you've got to pay for materials, right? So you work it out for yourself, innit? Because £100 for labour doesn't really make sense at certain points, does it? Because there's not enough to yield your profit once you pay for your public liability insurance, van insurance, materials, now your labour. 4 things. We got to all make it make sense. And I know that even when I've heard it through other people that you're running a business, so you need to operate like a business. All of those costs need to be deducted to cover so you can reach some type of profit towards the end of the day. And yes, that's only one job you're doing, but you might only have 1 or 2 jobs. So you've got to balance it out. But there is high potential to be able to earn within this industry. I know that. And especially at the time where I'm at now, because there are so many, and I'll be honest, the more cowboy builders and plumbers and people that put their hand to tradespeople's stuff and fuck it up and mess it up and have to get in a professional like myself, is the more money I'm going to make. I'm not critiquing those people's work because I understand that for me sometimes to come in, someone has to make a mistake or not know what they're doing. And I benefit from that because of my skills and my knowledge of understanding what's going on. I used to be a little bit more begrudgeful towards people when people used to go for other people before me, but now I just accept that I can't be everywhere at one point. And as long as I'm generating an income for my company, I'm generally happy. You learn a lot of these things through your own experience while running a business. I mean, I've run a business for the best part of 9 years now. 9, possibly coming up to 10 years. I've seen a lot of people try to expand. I've made videos before which were on expanding a plumbing company and building it to £1 million business, and you only need 5 people. I've told people about the amount of wages which you need to be paying out people, which is about, if I'm correct, it was about 46, because you have to pay people the going rate. But I broke down that video and I done that on a live video, and I'll try to pin that because if you watch this video about making money as a plumber, you probably want to understand how to build a business with 5 people so you're making £1 million, £1 million business as a plumber. And that was situated in London. So I done all the maths. I worked out how much material you would need, how much billing hours of work you're going to get from the 5 people with vans and all that type of stuff. So it was interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me to even talk about it and for people to possibly understand what goes into that, I feel that that is a lot of work to do and is a mammoth task for anybody. So I've always had 1 or 2 friends who work with my company. So generally, the maximum amount of people that I've had on a project before is 6 people, and we was all working underneath Mr. London Plumber. I put that project is actually on my YouTube page. Actually, that was one of the first projects which I really put down, but I made a lot of money off that. Definitely so, and it's because I've took a lot of responsibility on that job. I took responsibility for doing a bathroom. So we done, what did we do? We done a bathroom, installed a new water heater, when I done a bathroom, we done ladies, males and disabled, put all the power in it, done the lighting, got On Point Electrical to do that, teamed up with Plumbing Done Easy, that's one of my mates, Leon, and we done the urinals, 6 toilets, it must have been, sorry, it was 4 toilets in the males, the urinals, and we done the females. I think it was 4 or 8 toilets in there as well, and the wash hand basins as well. So yeah, it was quite a decent sized job to do. Challenging, but those experiences for me is where I learned how to make money, if you get what I mean. I learned how to work with a lot more other people on my own project, delegate and give people things to do, but also make sure people get paid as well, you know. And that whole making sure people get paid was a learning experience for me. And even though it was people who I know, like my friends and stuff, I still had to treat them with the same level of respect as like when I was doing business with anybody else, which is pay these people first, innit? That's how I work, because I wouldn't want someone coming to me asking me for the money. So I know people work better when they've got the money in their hand. Like I said, I trust all of these individuals as well. So there's that level of like, if I wasn't there, you'd be able to get on with what you need to get on with. And you don't really need to talk to me about it. I'm not like, I'm managing it, but I'm not the person who you need to look at and be like, oh, well, you're not doing nothing, because I was actually doing the work as well. So there was a fair medium between us with what we had to get on with and what work we had to do. But that's a great video. I will try to pin that as well. Or hopefully if I stand over there, I can show you a picture of it. That's the video which you want to look for on my page. It was years and years ago. But yeah, that was one of the videos which actually separated me and allowed me to see my plumbing business in a different light. And you can see how many years ago that was as well. See how much younger I look as well. Fucking hell. Still good looking now though. But my point of making this video is just that, to explain to people that the level of hard work what has to be put in for you to be able to call yourself a businessman, a plumbing business, right? So there's a lot what goes into it. There is money to make. You've just got to figure out how you're going to make that money and how you're going to make it consistently. I feel that once I started putting myself out there, naturally business has started to flow to me. I'm not going to lie. But I still need to do a little bit more to keep it churning, to keep it moving. Because that movement within business is necessary, because I will say to you, we will have some good months sometimes, and you do have slow months as well. So what you do in your slow months is as important as what you do in your busy months as well. You can't do every job, because there's more jobs what come in than what you can do. You know, you need sleep, you need rest. Don't chase the money too much, because if it's going to come to you, it will come to you. And if it doesn't come to you, you know, it's not the end of the world, people. At the end of the day, some of these things like being a plumber, being a tradesperson, it isn't going to make you rich. It's the ideas, what you think of off of it, which might make you rich, or the skills which you've got, which you can improve on, which can make your life very fruitful. Again, it's not always about being rich and stuff like that. I know that's some people's plans, but you got to work very hard to be rich, which is doable nowadays. It's not undoable. Just make sure you keep on applying yourself and learning from your mistakes, whether it's the way you deal with clients and customers, the way you get the end sell, the way you get your money sent over to you. You know, work on ways, get a sum up machine, get a card machine so you can take card payments at the door. You could tell people to send you, I used to tell a lot of people to send me, I would send them an invoice and they'll just send the money to my account and stuff like that. But I have got a sum up machine, and it is about using these types of things as well, because that's how we are to do business. And it's easy to do it as well, step by step. I know a lot of us feel that we're old school and we don't have to do that, but you do, because times are changing. And it's about doing business how you possibly see others do business, because it works. Find a method which works for yourself when it comes to operating your plumbing business. I've found ways which have worked for myself, and I've been able to adapt them at times because business has changed, right? So bear that in mind. If you found anything helpful from this video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and liked, because liked is really important on my channel, because I've got a small channel. I want to grow it. I want to get 1,000 likes on this video, and liking shows other people on YouTube who might be looking for videos like this how to find it. That's all it does. And I'd appreciate if you subscribed, and if you could drop a comment, that would be amazing. But I hope you're having a great day and you enjoy the content, and look out for the next upload.